Good morning. Good morning to everyone here, a room full of CMOs. It's a real pleasure to be sharing the stage with my good friend Boutros, truly a marketing icon and someone I very much look up to. And we're especially lucky to have Boutros with us because we had really tight competition. I don't know if you wanted this to be shared, but Boutros was invited to the final of AC Milan today in Rome. But here he is with us, so we are very, very lucky. Not sure everyone would make that same decision, but we are grateful. So thank you for being with us.
I'm grateful to be considered.
Boutros, you've been with Emirates for 35 years now. It's a long time. Although in Emirates terms, a lot of people stay for a very long time with Emirates. And this past weekend, the last time I saw you, we spoke to a very enthusiastic traveler who is now flying the world just to gain more miles so that they can upgrade their status. And something you said, which was really interesting, was that the Emirates experience doesn't start once you board the plane, but rather once you buy the ticket. I'm curious to know when that became a strategy. But first, take us back to 35 years ago when you were 5 years old. Your daughter's here, she can confirm your age. Take us back to when you joined Emirates, what it was like, what the marketing function was then, and what the airline brand looked like.
Yeah, I joined Emirates in 1991. At that time, we had 7 aircrafts and 11 destinations. And it was a small airline. Nobody took us seriously. I was fortunate enough to have the courage to move from UK, where I used to be a journalist, and to join Emirates. I strongly believe, and I always say it, I believed a lot in Dubai and in the project of Emirates and in the vision of Dubai. I came to Dubai first time 1989 to attend the first air show as a journalist. And what I saw then and the people I met, I could see this place is only going to go from good to better. So joined Emirates, the department where I am headed now had 12 people, 4 of them office boys and tea and so on. So I was glad and fortunate enough to see this vision growing. In terms of the vision, not a lot has changed. When Emirates started in 1985, the brief from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed was, be good, look good, and make money. And when he handed the first and last check of $10 million, he told them, this is your money, but don't come back for more. And today, I think Emirates is the most probably financial success story if you move from the digital world, the usual latest Facebook and the others. In terms of a value, I think Emirates Airline is a real success story.
And well, just ranked most profitable airline globally.
Yeah, exactly. And today we are the most profitable airlines. For the last 3 years, we've been, after the pandemic, we repaid the loans for the government. We were running a tight, good operation. And to be honest, this would not have happened if we were in another country. Dubai itself is like a lot of people, they ask why Emirates is so successful, because we are in Dubai. Of course, this is one of the major reasons.
And a huge part of Dubai's growth and the UAE's growth story. So you say that the vision and the strategy was there from day one, because Emirates is not about selling seats or selling a route from point A to point B, it's about selling experience. But when did you really identify that as a strategy?
It's from day one, because Emirates strategy, it goes along in parallel with the Dubai strategy. And it's Dubai, it was very well known when they start. The brief was they need Dubai to become a center, tourism, business, and sports center for the Middle East, global center for the Middle East. So it was obvious from day one, Emirates management at that time, they knew that they need to provide the experience, because we always have to remember, an airline is to carry people from A to B. And this is principle is still always there. This is the core. This is what we do as a business. We are not a technology company. We are not whatever you say. We are an airline who carries people from A to B. But then every other airline does the same. So it's like Dubai, again, I say, Emirates is differentiated from everybody else. We are different. That's why we are successful. Our business model was aiming at providing people with experience. The business model of Emirates, people trying to copy it, but because we started it at that time, that they want Dubai to be a hub, and they want Dubai to become, because we don't have a domestic market. The market is too small for domestic. So the great thinkers of establishing Emirates' business model was to, every airline had, or every passenger had problems to fly from regional airports around the globe. So you go, for example, you used to go Manchester, London, Dubai. Now we said the whole principal business model, why you don't go from Manchester to Dubai? And then you avoid the busy airport of Heathrow and so on and so on. So that was the main, one of the main business decisions, that we can take you anywhere in the world with one stop, and this stop is Dubai. So the customer, in terms of customer experience, it started from day one. And as a result, I remember in 1992, we were the first airline in the world who introduced in-flight entertainment, the screen, in every seat, including economy. And every airline, like the people were laughing at us. Everything we did all the way, people in the industry were thinking, oh, these are idiots, like they have money. It's an oil company. And I spent the last 35 years telling people Dubai doesn't have oil. So stop saying it's an oil money. So it's like, but this is the perception, unfortunately, which you try to change. Emirates is successful because at that time, when we introduced the system on the economy class seat, we made a study. And the study told us if we can generate 1.25 cents dollar, okay, from each seat, we'll cover our cost in 1 year. So it was a purely business and business decision. It was clearly, this is an airline who doesn't spare money to gain customers and because in the long term, this comes back to you.
And like you said, the perception is that Emirates has a lot of money, so people also say, oh, the marketing department at Emirates, it must be so easy because you just have so much money to spend on marketing.
In reality, our spend is less than 3% of our total revenue. So our colleagues here, they all know, in our industry, you need to spend between probably 3 to 7% of your total revenue on marketing. For us, I'm proud to say, and sometimes I'm challenged internally with our financial department that I take 3%, but in reality this year, my budget is 2.4%. So you have to be smart how to spend it. And I'm glad you asked this question because it's clearly we are doing something right, that people think we have so much money to spend. In reality, we spend much less than what we need, but it seems it's working.
I'm surprised you couldn't negotiate a higher percentage for yourself. I want to talk about sports sponsorship. Your portfolio is unbelievable. From sponsoring, well, in the early days, the Dubai World Cup, to cricket, ICC, to the biggest football clubs around the world. Most recently, the NBA, rugby sevens, you're everywhere. Emirates is everywhere. I remember landing in Milan and seeing Emirates on the jerseys there. So anywhere you go in the world, you're there. You're there, and today it seems normal, but when you began, it wasn't, not that it wasn't common, it just didn't exist. Airlines didn't sponsor teams. And so I'm curious, was it hard to initially convince some of, let's say, these football clubs to add the Emirates logo to the jersey, something that today seems so natural, but at the time you needed them to take that leap of faith?
Yeah, it's not only football club. It was hard to convince any sports organization to accept Emirates branding. It was, I remember when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed came up with this series called, we called it after that, Emirates Horse Racing Series, which is started. So we went to, like a lot of horse racing organizers, they said, we don't put branding. And some of them, they don't put branding at all. When we introduced our logo on Godolphin, a lot of races, they were forbidden from wearing a branded. branded shirt. When we went to negotiate the first truly global sponsorship started probably 1999, maybe before, when we sponsored the Australian team to the Cricket World Cup. Again, they came to us because they couldn't find another sponsor, not because they loved the Emirates brand. So we took the challenge, and we were lucky enough that they won the World Cup. And then when we start negotiating to sponsor the Cricket World Cup, they were reluctant as well, because we want to put it on the umpires, which is the referee of the cricket, and it didn't exist. And they said, oh, we need the board, we need... So we went through a lot of efforts to convince people that Emirates is a great brand. Unfortunately, the perception was, this is an Arab brand, it will one day or another, they will come up with some problems, you know, and you don't blame them because they didn't know us. And the first breakthrough was with Chelsea. So when we did the sponsorship with Chelsea, again, they accepted us. Initially, they didn't want us, but they couldn't find another sponsor. So we were their like last chance, and we sponsored them. Before Chelsea, we had the Man United, and we did a lot of discussions, and we found out they were using us in order to leverage that they have a sponsor, so they can increase the price of Vodafone. And we left the room, and before we arrived from Manchester to London, before we arrived to London, they announced their sponsorship for Vodafone. So it was a slap in the face in a lot of cases, but we did not stop. We did not stop because we strongly believe that sponsorship is one of the mediums which can stay and give you exclusivity. And today, if you look like just heard AI, you hear all this new digital world, you have now millions of mediums. They compete with you. What stays and what stands is sponsorship. And because sponsorship goes directly to the human, goes directly to the emotion of people, and this is where it keeps the connection. And as I said, the beauty of it, it gives you exclusivity. Today, I cannot go to Khaleej Times and say, I want to run one-page ad, but don't accept any other airline. I have to compete with everybody else in the best position. For every other airline, every medium exists, except sponsorship. You cannot have exclusivity. So for us, it was no-brainer to go and own every single popular sports. So our portfolio today has the top sports and watched sports in the world, which is soccer, cricket, golf, rugby, tennis, so horse riding. So everywhere you go, yes, you see Emirates. The only differentiation between us when you talk about big budget, more than 50% of my budget goes into sponsorship.
And so for you, this is, would you say, the most significant, or one of the most significant pillars to Emirates' growth story still, sports sponsorship?
Yeah, exactly. To me, I will not sit here and be arrogant and say it's all because of marketing. No. The Emirates' success is because of the product, because every single step of our experience, you can say it, there is a department behind the scene. It's the look and feel, it's the service, it's the phone call to Emirates, it's the cabin crew on the street, it's our staff and their behavior, their children at school. Everything plays a role in terms of making Emirates an inspiring brand. The product we have is very inspirational. We want people always to dream, and our biggest objective is think travel, think Emirates.
And one way that you made us all think about Emirates is with your campaigns, viral ad campaigns from, well, the first that comes up has to be Jennifer Aniston, because that's, for me at least, and many people in my community, it brought the desire, or maybe the dream, you could even say, to fly Emirates become very real. And that's something that really stuck through. You had from Jennifer Aniston, the Burj Khalifa campaign, Fly Better, calling people to come during the pandemic still. It's something that went viral, and these became kind of marketing master classes, and much more than just an ad campaign. I'd say your most recent one, which was clever, was on April Fool's, Emirates Delivery, which turned out not to be an April Fool's, but very much a real service that you're providing. Can you take us into the room to when these ideas are pitched and eventually greenlit, and who's behind them? I mean, is it data-driven? Does it come as, is it instinct? Is it just guts? How do these ads come to life?
Look, data-driven is a big subject, but when the decision was taken, it was taken before data was available as the data we see today. Of course, we rely a lot on market research, we rely a lot on our agencies, but sometimes, you know, nobody knows you better than you know your own business. So we know what we are doing, we knew what differentiates us from others. And we needed, at that time, we needed to filtrate the US.
You're talking about the Jennifer Aniston campaign.
I'm talking about Jennifer Aniston. We ran a small ad in US. It was very controversial at that time against the US carriers, which it went well, but we ran it in US, so why you didn't see it. But it was a great ad. But then we thought how we go global. Of course, we have an in-house team, very creative people, very good script writers. So they came up with a script, we discussed who's the best person. They approached Mark Downey Jr., and he rejected it. He said, I don't want to be in an Arab ad. So it's okay, it was his loss. Then we came up with Jennifer Aniston because we strongly believe she's a global icon. But of course, agencies, a lot of people, they said, oh, nobody knows her. We want we want to spend $100 million on this ad.
No one knows Jennifer Aniston?
People tell you things, you know, like at the end of the day, you have agencies, they claim they know everything. So sometimes they mislead you. I don't know why. They said, oh, nobody knows Jennifer Aniston in India. Somebody else, she's not global enough. I say, guys, if I know her, which means she's global, because I'm not very really into, into names of movies and directors and so on. So anyway, so we took the risk and we did the filming with Jennifer Aniston, and she's a great actress. People don't know, but when we were filming it, we had to take A380 specially flight to Los Angeles with a crew, which means a lot of preparation and permission and so on. Unfortunately, that morning, her mother died, but she insists in filming. Also, we offered her, so maybe you may need a couple of days, but she said, no, I know what you went through. I will do the filmings and I'll go and grieve. So that's why I say she's a great actress, because you know, I don't think someone who just lost their mother is easy. They can act and pretend they are happy and enjoying a service.
Did you know at that time it would have the impact that it ended up having?
Personally, yes.
You knew?
I knew, and it became my challenge because a lot of people, even within my team, didn't believe it. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you want to put $150 million behind a global campaign, it's really, you need to have a really, really big guts to go and say, yes, go ahead and do it. I'm fortunate enough, I work in a company where we are trusted to do our job. His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed, he's never questioned me. All the decisions we took, we go to him, because such decision, you cannot do it just because I have a budget. No, you have to go and seek Sir Tim Clark and His Highness, but I always got the support. And this is one of the key success of my department. We can take decision quickly. We don't wait for board of directors to tell us what we do. We don't have to justify to anyone. And we make mistakes, yes, but we did a lot of success. So if you measure it, the success is much more than failures.
So you mentioned one figure there, and you've worked with a lot of celebrities. Now with Gen Z, a lot of companies work with influencers. Does Emirates pay influencers?
No. For us, it has been always our policy. We don't pay for advertorial. We don't pay for influencers, and we don't pay for people to give, like, unless it's a paid advertisement. I strongly believe when you pay influencer, you lose the credibility. So influencer will go like, and even globally, the rules on advertising still a little bit like special influencers and the new media, there is no proper governance. So to me, every time I look at these like food bloggers and so on, and if I know he's paid, then I know the food is not good. You know, it's like, why do you need to pay somebody to go and, you know, try your food and advertising? So I'm personally, I don't believe in paying influencers. They may not like it, but unfortunately, I always believe that we have to be credible. We don't advertise something we don't have. And I just mentioned, I like one thing in China today. In China, you cannot run an ad if the actor did not sample the product. So that's why when we run Jennifer Aniston, we could not run it in China, simply because she didn't fly Emirates before.
I'm sure she flies Emirates now.
I hope so.
Well, let's check with her. You've really watched advertising shift, and it's changed so much in the past 35 years, from print to TV to digital, reels, now AI, as was mentioned in the opening keynote address. What old school marketing do you believe still applies today?
To be honest with you, the principles are the same. We still fly people from A to B. AI cannot fly you anywhere, We still target individuals because our target audience is individuals. Obviously, we strong believer in any advancement in technology because it helps us to take better decision. Today, AI, of course, for people like us, it's challenging because of the search engine optimization, because of Google. All this landscape is changing. So you need to be on the top of it, and you need to be as fast as you can there. But what they don't, gentleman before, he did not mention the cost of it, the cost of data, the cost of hosting data. And this is becoming very expensive for organization. We are fortunate enough, we are a big organization. We have more than 100 billion dirham revenue per year. But I think of a small restaurant, or a small business, I don't think they can really take the full potential of technology because it's advancing so fast. It's not like in the past you would buy, let's say, a video machine. It would last 5-6 years. Today, whatever you buy, in 6 months you have to buy something else. So I think the means and the functionality has changed a lot. The basic is the same. I want to target audience. I want people to travel with us. I want them to experience Emirates, and I want to reach them. The way of reaching them is changing, definitely. What I miss, probably, I will miss the creativity which we have today. In the future, I think the way the pace of production today is so fast, there is no much room for creativity. And this is what always worries me.
And you personally, how have you been able to adapt and stay ahead? Because it's not the same profession as it was 35 years ago.
Well, I'm fortunate enough, I have a big team. They have to adapt.
Emirates now flies to over 150 destinations. Your ads reach millions and millions of people. And one of the reasons you say you don't speak at a lot of events, and again, we're very happy you've joined us, is because you don't like to share your secrets. But since you're here with us, and we have a lot of very eager and excited CMOs and marketeers sitting in the crowd, what would you say is the Emirates secret sauce?
If I say it, it won't be a secret. But in reality, there is no secret. As I said, it's a combination of teamwork. It's a combination of the environment where you work from, which is Dubai. It's what provides you. It's the mix of Dubai. It's a unique airline for a unique city, for an advanced world. So Emirates is not, you cannot say it's a Dubai company. It's a global company. We cater for everybody. So the secret is really the synchronization, which is, even if it's not happening physically, but the mentality and the mindset of everything run in Dubai. So when we need, for example, a bigger airport, the government build it for us. And it's not they build it like, they take us seriously and they involve everybody. Last night I was at dinner with a group of colleagues. There is here something called Club 13. I'm sure very few of you heard of it, but this Club 13 is 13 people who've been from the early expats builders of Dubai. It has been running for 51 years. And every 13th of each month they have dinner and they host people. So I was one of their hosts last night. And one person said, when I left England in 1967, they were talking about a new runway at Heathrow. Until now, they haven't agreed on where this new runway should be. So, and this is what tells you, Dubai, what prospects is. This is where Dubai, and this is where Emirates. And fortunately to us, we don't have a board of directors. We don't have shareholders to come and, every 3 months we have to produce enough figures so to keep our jobs. So, and this is a strength for us. This is strength because our motive is not only to make money. We have to be profitable, but more than profitable, to build an airline, create jobs, create wealth for the city. So all this mentality, it doesn't exist in a lot of other companies because we are a unique company in terms of ownership. It's like everything in Dubai, the whole Dubai. You all know, you live here, it's run like a private company. It's not run as a government. If you want to run it like a government, you go back to the same stories. You wait 30 years to decide on a new runway. So this is the secret.
If I ask you to think about a moment, it can be a campaign or, yeah, a milestone maybe, that made you think, yes, this is Emirates at its best. What would it be?
The thing, campaign is usually probably in terms of total campaign, in terms of revenue, of course, Jennifer Aniston, because it's advertising, you had time to film the whole thing, production cost $10 million, so it has to succeed. But I think the most effective campaign was a lady on the top of Burj Khalifa, because it cost us 60,000 dirham, production and fee, and so far we have around 300 million viewers. So this is something which beyond anybody's expectation, of course. But I believe, there is no one thing to distinguish you. It has to be today. In today's world, every day you have to produce something good, something noticeable. We did a lot of silly activations and small ones, which they work well and went viral. And this is what I think we need more of it, because today competition is not only with airlines, it's competition with every other brand on earth. So probably you have a billion brand competing for this small space on the digital, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and this space is available for anybody good. So you have to be much better than good to take this space.
I want to hear about a tough decision you've had to make. You mentioned initially having to convince brands, but that changed, and today brands and teams I know approach you. Share a moment, it can be, COVID always comes to mind, where you had to take a really tough decision, and ultimately that decision helped the growth story of Emirates, but it wasn't clear at the time.
To be honest with you, every day I take decisions, and I'm paid to take decisions. When, of course, Jennifer Aniston, spending money is always a big difficult decision, because this is where everybody's eyes on you. Yes, I did restructure my department. That was the biggest decisions I took, because when I took the department in 2009, it was built for the early 2000 department. And at Emirates, nobody tells you go and restructure. So you have to take a bold decision. And the toughest part of it is when you have to tell some people they have to leave because they did not develop, because they are not progressing. And to me, I always say my internal decisions are the most difficult decisions, because it hits and it affects people who have families, people you see every day more than what you see your family. But in the end, it comes to you personally to take the decision, because nobody else wants to take the bad decision. So since 2009, I think I restructured my department 3 times. Now I'm restructuring in a faster pace because of the digital world, of the marketing, and today, you still need the basic, but you need the right people and the right knowledge. And this is, to be honest, this is really my main issues.
Last one. You're in a room full of marketeers, also facing tough decisions that they have to make daily and enormous pressure. What's one piece of advice or maybe a principle that you've held on to for 35 years that you can share?
Advice, we keep learning, keep reading. I think you need to be curious in our industry. If you are not curious, don't work in it. Because this is not an industry where you know, you are a doctor and you read every year 2 books and or 1 book and you become better. Every day you have to be better. You need to, the best advice I keep telling my team as well, you have to understand the business you are serving. Because coming sometimes with arrogant and thinking that your agency is the best in the world, or you know better than your business, this is wrong. The more you understand your business, the better you can service them. And this is advice I keep telling my staff, because every business has its own complications. Don't rely on the brief, which again, that's a lot of our colleagues rely on it, and they come and they start telling me your brief. So I waste, they have 1 hour, half an hour of it, they tell me what was my brief. So this is a no-go. So we need to be creative, progressive, and most important, curious.
Okay, and our time's up, but very quick rapid-fire questions that we could end on that I didn't prepare you. So, you know, here we're putting you on the spot. 1 word that defines Emirates. You can't say excellence. Emirates, 1 word.
1 word.
1 word.
Inspirational.
Inspiration. Best decision you've made?
Sorry?
Best decision you've made?
Working for Emirates.
Biggest marketing trend you think is overhyped?
I don't know. Every marketing thing is good.
Every marketing is good, says a marketeer. What would you tell your younger CMO self if you could go back 30 years?
It's a great work to be. It's a great business to be. It's, I can't tell them anything.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, it's just.
Final.
You should love your work.
Love your work.
Yeah.
You love your work?
Of course.
The secret to making a brand go global. 1 sentence, no pressure.
Be global. You have to be global to become global. So if you don't service a global, then you are not a global. So it's the brand, it's in general, brand reflects your business, reflects what you do, what you offer. You cannot fake a brand. You cannot overpromise. I always tell my team, whatever you do, under-promise, keep this small element of surprise. And hopefully sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't, but in the end, you know, we are like selling an image. We are selling emotion. We are not selling product as a marketeers. While my business and my customer is selling product. And this is a big difference.
Selling emotion. Butchers, thank you so much for this chat and for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome.